Hello, Alden Aldenay here. How are you today? Hopefully you've had a great day. If you are in Australia or the other side of the world, maybe you are just waking up right now. I'm Alden Aldenay, known as the Media Queen. What I do is I help people get their message to the masses using online and offline media. And today I'm going to talk about step 3 of my awesome magic media magic formula. And the third step here is actually the E from the awesome word, the acronym, and it's about elevating your profile. So just to cover the whole 7 steps that I will be covering over this week, the A for the awesome step stands for articulate story, which I did a session about 2 days ago. And then yesterday we talked about the W of the awesome steps, which was about working angles to your story. Today is about elevating profile. Tomorrow we will look at the S, which is startling the media, how to startle the media. And then the O is about owning your power. And the M is mastering interviews. And then the E of the awesome is about exploding your impact. So that's the steps I'm going to be covering. So today, elevate your profile. So once you know what it is that you want to promote, you're clear on your product, your service, and your message, then the next thing is to work some angles that are going to be relevant to the media or the media organizations you're going to be pitching to. And ideally, you want to be pitching to the places where your ideal clients are. If you're in business, or if you want to get a message out, then you want to be going to media outlets that are going to be covering that kind of topic. So that's the kind of angles you need to look at, is what that media outlet is going to be looking for. Now, the E is about how to package that up. The elevate profile is all about how to then package up. Once you're clear on your story, your product, your message, what you want to get out there, once you've thought about a few angles on how to get it out there, you then need to package that up in a way that journalists are going to find it appealing, so that they're going to want to do a story about you. Now, my background is I've got 36 years media experience. I've worked as a photojournalist behind the scenes in many different media outlets, in TV, radio, and in print. And I can tell you that we would receive, often in the newsroom, we would receive up to 500 press releases a day. And a lot of these would end up in the bin. You know, back when I worked in the media, we had faxes that would come through. A lot of them just ended up in the bin because they weren't relevant or they weren't newsworthy. So with Elevate Your Profile, to present it in a way that journalists are going to find it appealing, you need to make their job very easy for them. And there's 3 different parts to elevate your profile. The first is you need to do a press release. Now, look, you can get publicity without a press release, but you just increase your chances that the media are going to get the facts wrong. So why not make their job easier for them and put all the facts of your story down in a press release, so that journalists are going to want to cover the story, especially if it's written in a newsworthy way. Often you'll find that journalists will actually just run the story as it is. And many times I've done press releases and they've just run the story as it is, and they love it because it saves them doing that work. So a press release is basically a 1-page document. It needs to be about 300 to 500 words. You need a catchy headline. You need to have your main points of what you're talking about in the beginning of the press release. And you need to make sure that you have a call to action at the end, as well as media contact details. So that's just a bit of a nutshell on press releases. I could do a whole day's session just on press releases, but I'll give you some tidbits today that you can go away and think about. So press release is the first thing. Then you need to think about photos or visuals. Now, this works for all media nowadays, TV, radio, and print, because a lot of media outlets now, they have social media sites, they have websites which they're sharing their stories onto. So you always need to be thinking in words and in pictures. Okay, so press release and photos or visuals are really, really crucial. And the better the visuals, the more publicity you will get. Okay, and then the third thing is pitch, how you're going to pitch your story to a journalist. Now, with the pitch, you've got about 45 seconds to get the journalist's attention. They are incredibly busy people. In fact, there's a 5-year burnout with journalists nowadays, which is crazy. I know, 5-year burnout. So often they are very, very stressed. And, often they have to come up with lots of different story ideas every day. In fact, when I worked at the Gold Coast Bulletin as a sub-editor and journalist back in the year 2000, I remember there were 2 editorial meetings that we used to have every day with the top journalist and the editor. And we would come together at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. every single day. And the editor would say, right, what stories have you got for us today, to each of the journalists? Now, this was a daily paper, so it came out Monday to Saturday every single day for 6 days, and all the journalists, about 10 of us, all had to come up with at least 3 story ideas of people in our local area doing great things every single day. And I can tell you that while a lot of people were sending us press releases and a lot of people wanted publicity, most of the time, in fact, probably 80-90% of the time, a lot of the stories that we would get pitched were not relevant, not newsworthy, and they were just wasting our time. And as journalists, we would get very frustrated if someone pitched a story to us and wasted our time with something that was too commercial. Okay, so there's certain things you need to think about in elevating your profile and putting all of this together. So rehashing again, so you need a press release, you need photos or visuals, and you need a good, strong pitch, a snappy pitch to get the journalist's attention. And it needs to be relevant to the media outlet that you are targeting. Okay, so that is the Elevate profile. They're the crucial elements of this stage of the awesome media magic formula that I have, and I go into a lot more detail in my Mass Media Mastery program. If you want to find out details about that, you can check it out on my website, which you can see right there, aaexpos.com. And I go through that, all of that in much more detail. Now, another thing I have coming up is the Global Good News Challenge. We have the September challenge coming up starting on the 1st of September. In fact, you can start your Facebook Live challenges anytime between September 1 and 9. 9-day challenge happening for September. And the whole idea is to lift people's spirits and reduce anxiety, depression, and suicide rates. Now, you would know that in the last few months, things have been crazy in the world. Since COVID came about in March, or since it became, a scary thing for people, it's been a crazy world out there, and there have been a lot of suicides, a lot of very depressed people. So my goal with the Global Good News Challenge is to help shift that. And I would love to have, my big goal is to have 1,000 people do a Global Good News Challenge between now and the 8th of the 8th next year, which is Good News Day next year. And we've already had quite a few people participate since June when we launched it. In June, we had a 7, 14, and 21-day challenge. In July, we had a 5-day challenge. And in August, this month, we had a 8-day challenge, celebrating the 8th of the 8th, Good News Day, and celebrating the 8th month of August. So what happens with that is basically you just do a Facebook Live every day for 9 days in September, and you just say your name, who you are, 3 things you're grateful for, and a piece of good news. And it's amazing how that can just shift your energy and shift the energy of those people around you. Getting back into a state of gratitude is really, really important. And I highly recommend that you do that. So that's how you can get involved. You just hashtag Global Good News Challenge. You can do the Facebook Live on your personal profile, or you can do it in the Loving Life group. And all the details are pinned to the top of the Global Good News Challenge page on Facebook. And I would love to see your challenges. So hopefully you can join in. It's a great way also to promote what you're up to as well. So if you want a marketing opportunity, there's a marketing opportunity for you to get your message out. Okay, so that's the awesome media magic formula. I do believe that anything is possible when it comes to the world of media. There are literally thousands of media outlets out there waiting for stories. And right now, if you're feeling like you are the world's best kept secret, then perhaps, just maybe, it's time for you to step up and to be the star that you are, to shine bright, to make the difference that only you are here to make. Your X factor is your story. And if you've been through any hardship whatsoever, then there's some wisdom that you can share with people. And I do believe that every single media spot that you get, you are leaving a legacy as well. You're also building your fame, your fortune, and your freedom in the process as well, because the ripple effect of that is often massive for people. So thank you so much for joining me today, Aldwin Alderney Media Queen. That is step 3 of my awesome media magic formula. And I need to get some sleep now. It's midnight, just after midnight. And I have my workshop tomorrow, the How to Gain $1 Million Worth of Free Publicity workshop from 9:30 to 1:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is in about 9.5 hours we're starting. And so it is important that I get some sleep. I've been working crazy hours lately, and I do love what I do. I must say, I absolutely love what I do. Although sometimes I do need to sleep. So I'm going to head off now, get some Z's, get some sleep. And I would love to hear from you. If you've seen that, what's something you've got out of today, or what's something you're grateful for? Love to see in the comments. Feel free to chat there. And thanks again for joining me. I'll see you again tomorrow with the S of the awesome media magic formula steps, and the S will be startle the media. So tune in again tomorrow. You can also check this out depending where you're seeing it, Facebook, YouTube. All my videos also on Media Queen TV on YouTube, and on Facebook you'll see a heap of videos as well. So thanks again. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are in the world. Remember to shine bright and light up all those around you. Blessings, and see you soon. Bye for now.